To talk about myself, I thought I'll talk more about the country, more about the economy, more about politics, and I'll take very little time to describe me as a person. So I was born in a small village in Karur district called Thottambatti. We have about 32 houses there. So the first generation guy in my family, me and my sister, both of us got into degree. Both of us, the first generation. Then it's a very small village, 32 villages, you can just imagine. And from there, typical school, then two choices in front of me, either take an engineering or take medicine. I thought probably I'm not good enough to do medicine. You have to study more, so I chose engineering. So just to cut the long story short, maybe till the age of 21, 22, I never had any plan in life. I just allowed that the life is taking me. So since I chose engineering, I landed up in Coimbatore, PFG College of Technology. I got into a 5-year engineering course, and which probably the second and third year is very important to me, because that is when I realized I never wanted to be an engineer after getting into engineering. I'm not sure how many of you sitting in this hall realize. But what to do? Second and third year, you realize you are not cut out for the engineering world. Then I thought, at that point of time, it's very rare. When in 2002, when I entered engineering, 2007, I passed out. I took a break here. So many of you guys might take a break here also. It is unthought of. We people never encourage people to take a break here. The two person of my background, I took a break here for a year. Just wanted to realize where I wanted to go. I thought my education is incomplete. Let me do something, probably an MBA, general MBA, understand nuances. Then I can figure out what I want in life. Wrote CAT, got into IIM Lucknow. So did 2 years of my MBA there. 2010-11, I got a fair degree of where I wanted to go. I wanted to get into public service. I wanted to get into serving the civil society. And even then, the option of politics was still there. My first year MBA, normally in IIMs, you have this option of doing an internship. So I was the early guys to do an internship with the political party. So first year I took a break. I never went for a corporate internship. I interned with the political party, Mr. Vijaykanth's political party at that point of time, DMDK in 2009. 3 months I was with them. Then after my internship, I realized I'm not good enough to get into politics. It's a very tough field, unforgiving for a first generation guy like me. That too in a state like Tamil Nadu that is dominated by cinema power, money power and muscle power and everything. So I quietly looked at what are the other options I have. 26/11 happened, the Mumbai. That had a lingering thought, big motivation for me to write civil service, because you need some push to get into civil service. And even if you're intelligent, unless you don't have that motive to get into civil service, a lot of guys don't make it. That's why civil service is designed for people of above average ability and aptitude. But unless you have that calling factor, I see a lot of intelligent guys just going to the wayside because the calling factor is not there. For me, the calling factor was the Mumbai attack, somebody entering into our country in 2008, November 26, killing people just like that, not being held accountable, politics just wasting time, telling the Americans, asking for a neutral observer, come talk to Pakistanis, find a way, and nothing was happening. So that was the push that was needed. Wrote civil service, got into IPS, Karnataka, 9.5 years. Very good period of my life. I still enjoy every moment of my khaki. But there's always that time when you figure out that you want to get out of that cage. It is preparing you for something more meaningful and significant. 2019, May 28, I decided enough is enough. And this is the time for me to really pursue what I wanted. Get into grassroots, work with people. So quit policing. Started a foundation called We the Leaders Foundation. Even now it is active. Ran it for a year with about 8,800 volunteers we have. We're active in a couple of districts in Tamil Nadu, especially in the western part of Tamil Nadu. Very active with it for a year. Organic farming, skilling, entrepreneurship, all those things. Then you are 36, 37 with an IPS background, sitting in a village doing something. Then you develop a curiosity. People develop a curiosity. People come calling. They ask, what are you doing? What are you doing in a village? Why not this? Why not that? That's how I got pulled into politics. So frankly speaking, I'm an accidental politician. And never really wanted to get into politics because I always felt politics is not cut out for people like me who see life in just black and white. I don't see it in grey, and maybe that is a problem I always have. For me, it is either correct and wrong, and there is nothing called I operate in the middle. Politics, most of the time you have to be in the middle. You have to do all kinds of deals. You got to get all kinds of people along, and that tests your morality to the limit, and your morality is so tested. And many a times you got to do certain things. You're so uncomfortable in the short term because it is good for the long term. And many of the things that you have to do in the short term, even if it might appear good in the short term, it is really harmful in the long term. So every day it is that kind of things, whom you align, what kind of people you mingle with, and what kind of people you give a responsibility to. So here I am sitting in front of you. So maybe this is my life over the last 37, 38 years. Thank you.
Very interesting indeed. But before we move on to the next set of questions, I'm just curious to know what kind of effect did your college life have on you as a person? Like, how did your background in mechanical engineering and your education in institutes like IIMs influenced your approach to leadership and governance?
For me, engineering was, you all know, I think you are engineering guys here, sitting in one of the best colleges in the world. And engineering tried to make me as a methodical guy, my professors tried their level best to make me as a process man. But somehow I resisted that. I'm always a human guy. And that's why equations I never do well, mathematics I never do well. I have to see something in hand to realize. When you talk about electrons flowing, I never understand what is that. Hydrodynamics, I'm very bad. So I never had that aptitude, sir. To be frank, I was a very bad engineering student, frankly speaking. Not very good in engineering, because for me, that is the kind of mindset I had. I have to feel something, see something, only then I could understand that in the class. So I'm never good with theory. So since many of you are good with theory, you are sitting here. And that is the time in second year I felt, oh, this is not for me. And people said, you have to learn some computer course. I'm talking of 2002, 3. And I went to one computer course. Just for 10 minutes, I said, it is not. What is this equation? What is it going to give? I'm not here. But that is the time I realized, what am I going to do with my life? So it is 5 years now. I'm in second year. I realized I'm not going to do it. 3 years. What am I going to do? Then I started immersing myself in a lot of extracurricular activities. So part of a couple of clubs. I still remember when the tsunami struck Tamil Nadu, the coastal part. And I went to my principal, I said, I want to go there and serve. Principal said, no, you're not part of the national service scheme. I said, no, tomorrow I'm joining. But I said, no, guys who are part of the NSS will go, but not you. I said, okay, is there anything vacant in there? If I have to lift something, I can lift and give it to them. Even a sack of rice or anything, you tell me. They said, people are there, but there is photographer, there is a vacancy. And I asked my friend in the night, a person, Karthik in NSS, I said, can you teach me photography overnight? So now you have all these hackathon courses, overnight photography. He was like, are you mad? No, the principal told me there is a photographer role. I really want to be there in Nagargovil, tsunami struck area, but I have to learn photography. So overnight I learned photography. Next day I convinced the NSS coordinator I'm a good photographer, went there. When the pictures came, it was either a hand or a leg or a part of a body. And the reason I'm trying to tell you this story is, that motivated me. So I found, okay, my calling is somewhere here. So unless you explore yourself, you'll never know what is your calling. When the campus gives you so many opportunities, clubs, personality club, character club, NSS, you have dramatics, all kind of things. So for me, I pushed myself to get into uncomfortable situation in the campus. And I also used to stammer. And a guy coming from village, Tamil medium, then picking up English, your mind has to process that. So I used to go to the campus people and ask my professors, can I give a vote of thanks? Can I start with a simple vote of thanks? And can you ask me to go and give this introduction like the gentleman who gave me very, very beautifully, he said, a lot of nice words which I think I don't deserve also. And slowly prepared myself. So campus, to put it short, is the place where I ironed out my deficiency. I knew what I'm bad. I knew what I'm better. So I wanted to improve my better part of my personality. I wanted to slowly remove the small things that is hindering my personality development. So that I used my engineering very fully. Third year, fourth year, fifth year, thoroughly I used it. Travel, get into uncomfortable zones of public speaking. I want to speak, but I'm not good in speaking. Better my English. So that is the most important thing I remember on the campus. So that gave me the courage to take a break here. And my father was against it. He said, look, we all come from a village and you are trying to chase something which is not visible. And why can't you take a job that is in hand? Why can't you, sorry, I think I'm not seeing this side. And why can't you take a job and settle down? It was the hardest thing in life for me at the age of 21. 22, the hardest thing was me to say no And I never knew a single person in my life who took a break here. I never knew a single person. I never knew there is something called break here. Then 1 year I again explored what I want to do. Should I do this? So I would say college helped me to move from a village boy to a person who is searching his identity. What am I going to do in life? So that gave me the courage to resist a lot of tendency to pick up something that is good in the short run. Pick up this, take up a job that, which it gave me the courage by 5th year, because saying no is the hardest thing, sister. And especially in IIT Chennai, when you have so many opportunities in front of you, day zero company just landing up and everybody wants to pick the smartest brain in the world. And I think it will require a lot of courage the more higher you go in life to say no. When you don't have anything, it is easier to say no. In IIT Chennai, how can you say no? When there is everything in front of you. I hope and pray for you also the college over the next 4-5 years, whatever courses you are doing, 5-year course, 4-year course, it will help you to understand what you want to do in life. And probably if at the end of 4th year, 5th year, if you can pick up a clear yes and clear no, I think IIT has done its job. That is how I see my college.
Thank you for your answer, sir. So, as a representative of people and civil servant, there was always an opportunity for you to uphold the constitutional values. So, then what made you to choose politics as your career?
Same constitution made me to choose politics. Frankly speaking, I think it is some Greek philosopher who said, the highest calling in public life is politics. That's the highest calling. That's why we call it as political science. Because there is science to the whole idea of politics. And if you go on Google, you find a Greek philosopher who has written a book called How to Win Elections. He has given us science to winning an election. Thousands of years back he has written. And people like Plato at different points of time, they wanted to find out philosopher king, how to create a guardian who can rule our country very well. So they applied science to it. Take a child out, separate them from parents, teach them separately, and grow them up so that they become philosopher king. So Greeks applied science to politics. And that's why they call political science. Whether it is working now or not is a different question. And for me, I'm taking some extra time to answer this question because it's not an easy answer for me. Why policing and why politics? Why this shift after about 9.5 years? I remember day one in Labasna, the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy of Administration, when a batch like this, IAS, IPS and IRS, we all sit together, foreign service. It's a 3 months course. We all have to do a combined course to get to know each other, cross assimilation. And there was an IPS officer who came and he was giving a lecture. He said, I know all of you guys are smart and you have cracked one of the toughest exams in India. And of course, many IITs are there, many IIMs are there, people from AIMS, some of the best institutes are there in that room. He said, the day one when you all get into your job, you think you are the smartest in the world because you've aced the toughest exam and we are preparing you. But you have to understand, a constable is more smarter than you. That when the day you realize that, that is the day your ego gets blown out. And that is the day you truly become a people's person. He gave an example. So I think he was allocated a cadre, probably Bihar or Jharkhand. That point of time it is Bihar mostly. And there was a case they had to hunt down a dacoit. Searching, they couldn't find that guy. So one day they located, okay, probably this dacoit is coming to this house in the night. So immediately the young ASP, the person who was talking there, he was the young ASP then. He called his whole team, he made them to stand parade, he said left, right, center, stand in attention. He said, come on, we know the dacoit is going to this house, we are going to surround that house, we are going to get that dacoit. You know, we are very brash and very confident straight after training. And there was a constable who was trying to raise his hand. He was like, keep quiet. The other guy was trying to say, he's like, keep quiet. And this is the plan, let us all go surround the house, let us do. They surrounded the house, 12 hours, nobody came out. 14 hours, nobody came out. Then this young ASP said, time to barge in. I am going to barge in and anybody who is willing to come behind me, come. So they broke the door, he went inside, there was no dacoit in the room. And just then from the behind, that person put a country-made gun to his head because he was standing behind the door. When he barged in, he was standing behind the door, he put a country. So that is the time he realized, oh, there is somebody behind me. And it was a literal hand-to-hand combat. He said that I could realize the death in my eyes because the gun is there. And we were fighting with hand-to-hand. He shouldn't shoot me. And literally he had to chew his face. And the young ASP has to bite his face, nose, ears. He has to chew him to bring him under control. And later because since he saw death in his eyes, after the incident, the roll call happened, everybody, the debriefing. And he asked the constable, what are you trying to tell me? You are raising your hand in the morning during the briefing. He said, no sir, what I was trying to tell is, when a person is inside that house, for natural call he has to come out. So let us wait outside and catch him. This is a very simple thing, and so many fundas and training and hand-to-hand combat and Krav Maga and all kinds of things they teach you in NP. He said, look, you got to have human intelligence. The day you think you are getting human intelligence, that comes from society. That comes from keeping the ears and eyes and everything open, all the senses. And when you start picking up these cues from people, that makes you a better person. So I never forget that moment. For me, it was like an epiphanic moment. It just opened my eyes. It said, look, there is a native intelligence out, and let us go chase it. Same thing happened to me in a different context. ASP, day one. Because once I tell the story and the shift only, probably I can do justice to your question. I had a fantastic driver, young guy in ASP, Udupi district, Karkala. We had a Tata Sumo, he will drive, I'll be sitting in the front. And I'll be panicking. Maybe first week into policing, law and order, that had a lot of communal issues. Hindu-Muslim fight here and there. And my driver would be driving and saying, sir, don't worry sir, everything is taken care. If you go there, after the riot is over or in the middle of riot, you will have five people waiting for you. From the Hindu side, 1, 2, 3, this person will be there. From the Muslim side, 1, 2, 3 will be there. They will be making this demand to you. You will be saying this. Either guy will make this demand. Then you will say this, sir, problem solved. I was like, who is this fellow? For everything he has got a solution. So I was observing him for 1 week, 2 weeks. It was just repeating that pattern. Then one day house theft, some 80 kg, 80 gram of gold missing in a rural house. We were going, this fellow, I went inside, I was searching, mode of entry, or weapons used, and how did they take it, any fingerprint is there, the dog was inside trying to take the smell, he came inside, he looked at it. And he used to speak Tulu. He took his phone, he spoke to somebody in Tulu, and then he told me, sir, it is this fellow who did it. You tell that inspector to go lift that fellow. And I was like, okay. On that day night, I called him to I was staying in a small house. I said, come, we'll have dinner, chalo. He said, no, sir, I'm a constable, I'm not supposed to have dinner with you. Come here, we will sit down, let us have dinner together. I said, how do you know this? How do you give me solutions for every bloody problem in the society, and why are you a driver? He told me, no, sir, I am a driver for 17 years. Same area I am driving. I have seen ASPs like you, 3 people. I have seen 6 DYSPs, Deputy Superintendent of Police, not IPS, same rank, Deputy Superintendent of Police. Same issue happens in a cycle, sir. May, this happens. A rainy season, dacoit comes. Summer season, riots come. And I keep going. I see the same pattern. Then I know who would have done it. So that day you remember, sir, that HBT case, HBT is housebreaking theft. I went inside, I saw. The same guy has done a similar one 6 years before. Because he used one crowbar to open it, and that is the entry. I said, this is the guy. So that was something great for me. Because for me, I felt, when I wrote a book also after I left IPS, I dedicated to the constables whom I worked with me. I said, this book is dedicated to all the constables who are with me. My dedication. Reason is, I think somehow we allow our ranks and big things that comes with life. Tomorrow you all will become very big. Some of the best in the world, and people will be waiting outside. Somebody, even to get appointments, I think we all have to take your time and come. But we just have to understand, the guy who is standing outside the door, he has got 100 times more native intelligence than us. Because even in a boardroom, the guy who is opening that door, he keeps seeing the CEO's mood coming in, CEO's mood going out. And he knows the small chit-chat that happens outside. He picks up everything over 10, 12 years. If you ask him, he will have a board solution better than the board member sitting inside. Because he picks up in the high tea they do, they pick up in the people who come out and comment about what is happening. The same thing for me. So then, for me, the concept of rank, ego, I'm somebody big, I'm superior, I'm rank-wise thing. Then I started immersing myself more in the ground. In the Karnataka 9 years, I resisted going to a city. I said I don't want city, I want rural area. I served continuously in rural area, small towns and good people, important people. Moment they posted me to a city, Mr. Kumarasamy was the chief minister then, he told me you should come to a city to work, enough of rural. I resisted, I said, sir, I'm not a city guy, sir. You put me in city, 50% of my time is protocol. I have to go salute somebody, receive them in the airport, take them in the car, wait outside when important meetings happen, put me in rural. He said, no, yeah, city land grabbing is happening, you come. The most uncomfortable timing for me was being in the city. I was the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Bengaluru South, very important area. People love to go there, but day one I hated. Big people, all corporates, I'm meeting those kind of people. I'm meeting that young guy, a guy who comes with the veti, torn, comes to my office, he'll say, sir, he has tried to plunder my land, he has taken this, he has taken that. So those are the guys I was used to. I had an open door policy as a superintendent of police. Anybody can just walk in and no questions asked. The more higher I went in the service, I felt I'm just getting cut off with the people with whom I enjoyed working, grassroots. Then in my mind, I thought it's time to leave, but I never knew what to do. And 2018, I went for a Kailash pilgrimage, 53-day trip. No cell phones, nothing, cut out in the zone, you were there. And away from technology, it gave a lot of purpose to my life. It said, look, take that risk. People might think you're stupid. And leaving IPS in 9 years, when somebody asks you, what do you want to do? You don't even have an answer to say, I want to do this. So the transition happened. So I want to do something else and politics happened. So what I'm trying to say, the shift is, I always wanted to work in the ground. That is getting continuously manifested from the college days. Go to Tsunami, be there, be a part of NSS, clean some toilet, build a compound wall outside a school. So always hands-on. You put me in a room, make me to do a meeting, I'm totally uncomfortable. So I can make it on record also as the BJP state president of Tamil Nadu. I must have gone to the office maybe 50 days in the last 3 years. I never go to office. I never go to office. I keep people, I say, you solve the problem. Send me reports, send me notes. Tell me where I should go. I tour like crazy. And I am in Yenman Yenmakkal Yatra, which he was kind enough to mention. So today I just finished 228 constituencies. I'm in the road for a continuous 6 months. And I'm in Chennai only because we have a lecture here. I immediately leave back to Viluppuram and I'm back there and we have a conclusion in about 4 or 5 days time. The reason I'm trying to say is, I find a lot of joy in the ground because I see India transforming. In my eyes, I'm seeing how the ground is shifting. I see demography, I see development, I see all kinds of things in the ground. For me, I will comfortably do this. You put me in a room, you put me in some role, I'm totally uncomfortable. I want to keep this going for the next many, many years. Just be in the ground, silently work, build a party at the grassroots level. So this was always the motivation. Maybe the job title might change. I was a cop trying to solve some problem. I'm a politician trying to solve some problem. But the concept of being in the root is always there from my college days. That realization happened in the college. Sorry for the long answer, but I thought I should be very honest and truthful to you. But this is me.
Thank you for the amazing insight, sir. So, being an ex-IPS officer and a leader of a national party, you have seen a lot of instances where social justice was upheld and some where it was not. So, what is justice to you? And did the definition of justice change with the change in your career?
One of the toughest thing in life is to define the concept of justice. One of the very toughest thing to do. Practically, if you speak, because at one end you have the concept of positive discrimination in our life. It's enshrined in the Constitution. 1950, when the Constitution came, it was there for 10 years. You extended it for 10 years. Every 10 years, you give an extension. And you say there is a segment of society that is historically disadvantaged. I'm going to make sure they have a level playing field. The concept of reservation, the positive discrimination, which the Americans call and in India we call reservation. So one end of the justice spectrum is that. At other end of the justice spectrum, the concept of merit itself is seen differently. And you put 10 guys in the room and you give an exam paper to the 10 guys. And 10 guys score 10 different maybe marks, 99, 98, 97, 95. For me, merit doesn't mean the guy who scored 99 is standing first. In the traditional sense of merit, the guy who scored 99 is standing first. But for me, probably if you have seen the movie The 12th Fail, I'm sure IIT guys you must have seen it. And that guy has moved a mountain. And he has moved a mountain where he was and copying and cheating. From there, where he went, losing his bag, going to Delhi in a flour mill, grinding, then cracking at 4th attempt, 5th attempt, then getting into service. So, I think in India, the problem is there is an element of disadvantage to a segment of population in the rural area when they start their life. Parents not educated. For me, till 22, I am not sure what to do. It is only college that gave me an idea of what to do. Good professors and students like this, they told me what to do. I remember I used to wear, even my dresses were old. My cousin's dress I used to wear. His shirt and pant after 5 years later will come to me. And that is the kind of life I had initially. And how do you define merit here? Is 99 the first rank, or a person who has moved a mountain and scored 97 is at a first rank? So, I don't have an answer. And my answer is not the right answer. And your answer is also not the right answer. So that is something we all have to appreciate and acknowledge. In a complex society like ours, when our current president, Madam Draupadi Murmu, if you look at her life, I'm not sure how many people have read through her life. Losing her husband, her daughter is still more like a clerk level in a bank, and wanted to quit after her husband's death, went to an ashram, dedicated herself to it. Then Modi ji became Prime Minister, called her back. Modi ji wanted her to be a governor. She became a governor. Then, the party wanted her to be the president of our country, and the first president from a tribal community. That is a great example of social justice, one end. But the kind of life Draupadi Murmu madam had, if you look at whatever trouble somebody can go through, she has gone through. And my kind answer and request to all of you is, as you live life, you will go through this complexity. The questions will come in your mind. What is right? What is right? When you start a startup and we will put a regulation saying that you have to hire this many people, 1/3 should be this, 1/3 board should be this. Sometimes you might resist. Is it a fair practice? Is it a good practice? Is it a great practice at the cutting edge level where India has to go 25 years from now? But this is a dilemma we all have to resolve collectively over the next 20-25 years. As we go through, communities that hasn't got representative will get representative. If you look at Modi ji's cabinet, it's a great example. Look at the Modi ji's cabinet. People from the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community, highest representation, close to 19 people out of 76. If you look at the OBC representation, one of the highest. Again, technocrats representation, it's a proper basket mix. You have an Harvard educated former IAS Ashwini Vaishnav in one end. You have a community which is never represented in Indian politics in the cabinet on one end. So it's a mix and match, it's a basket you all have to do. Everybody brings something to the table. Everybody brings that life, that journey, that churning, moving that mountain story they bring to the table. And somebody, a technocrat, brings technology to the table. So I think you should have this mindset in the next 25 years to resolve this internal dilemma within you. So that is justice for me. And there is no straight answer for justice. If there is a straight answer for justice, why should there be an appeal court? You appeal Sessions Court to High Court, then you appeal High Court to Supreme Court, then from Supreme Court you appeal to Constitutional Court, then from Constitutional Court you file a curative petition. So why do you do multiple appeals? Because you are not happy with one justice, you want to go one up, So I don't have a straight answer, sister or brother. So what I'm trying to say is, you have to resolve this complexity as you go in life. And make sure that you are fair, you are transparent, you are non-discriminatory. And many a times you have to give a leg up to somebody to come up. And many a time you have to push somebody to do it. So that is justice for me. And maybe it is theoretical if I speak now, but if you look at books written by Michael Sandel, some of the great professors in the US, he has written some of the greatest books on justice. And a very fascinating way they look at life. Right up to global commons, countries previously have polluted the environment, now we are paying the price. Now suddenly all of us sit in a COP table, conference of party table, and India wants a green fund. China is polluting more, it doesn't want to do. So there, it's so complex to negotiate what is justice for everybody. And the same thing happens in the human rights also. Some countries war, Russia and Ukraine. What is it? Russia's point of view is what? Ukraine's point of view is what? Gaza and Palestine, their point of view is what? Sri Lanka, their point of view is what? Even within India, political point of view is what? So it needs lot of human intelligence, picking up that emotional cues, and probably you realize, like a old wine, with age you get better with justice. Sorry for the long winding answer, but this is the best I could do. Thank you.
Thank you for that interesting insight, sir. We'd like to know your view on, right now the trend of deep fakes and fake news, they are very rampant. So even a lot of public figures, they also fall prey to it. And even our Prime Minister Modi, he's been cautioning us of its danger. So what are your thoughts on the critical role of accurate information in today's society? And additionally, how do you perceive the prevailing trend of misinformation and its impact on various aspects of our lives?
Very important and interesting question, especially inside the IIT campus. But I would say, I'm asking this question back to you because I want an answer so that I can frame my answer around it again. Do you think you're traveling more than your grandparents? You're traveling more than your grandparents? You think yes? Okay. Do you think you're traveling more than your great-grandparents? Think you're doing it? Yes. More than your grandparents? Okay. So I'm going to read out something for you. So you both are sitting here. How are you sitting here? Let us track that genealogy. You're sitting here, you're sitting here. Let us track your genealogy and your genealogy. You had 2 parents, father, mother, you're here. 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 second great-grandparents, 32 third great-grandparents, 64 fourth great-grandparents, 128 fifth great-grandparents, 256 sixth great-grandparents, 512 seventh great-grandparents, 1024 eighth great-grandparents, 2048 ninth great-grandparents. I'm just tracking you. How did you come here over the last 400 years? Why are you born now? So 4094 individuals have to react in a certain way for you to sit here, correct? Correct? 4094 individuals over the past 400 years, 12 generation have to react in a certain way. I think you are top geeks, right? So what do you call algorithm or whatever you call, so you are sitting here. The reason we have to understand this, in my personal opinion, our generation is one of the most poorest in terms of traveling and reading. Because you are talking of fake and inaccurate information. Why? Because traveling doesn't mean boarding a flight and landing somewhere. Air miles is not traveling. Traveling is being there. Your grandparents and great-grandparents are fully present. They pick up that environmental cues in a village. Sun, wind, water, the Panja Bhuta they'll pick. They knew accurately when the rains will come, when the sowing has to happen, when the crop has to harvest. So lesser traveling, lesser air miles, but they are traveling more. The sense of innate intelligence. So you cannot give them a false information. Your great-grandparents will never fall prey to a false information. Because their mind is so sharp, they are picking up cues everywhere. And to the dot, I remember my grandfather, if my buffalo and our cow is pregnant at our village farm, my grandfather used to say the exact date he will say, this is the date the calf will be born. And he will say, if it's a male calf, it will be 7 days late. If it is a female calf, it will be 7 days more. To that degree, Panchanka, with respect to the moon, he will calculate. Do you think your mathematical model can do that now? 100% no. So, our generation has become an airmail generation. Go there and everywhere we are in a busy, and then we don't read. It just something comes in WhatsApp and clickbait. You just see it, your mind goes through a pattern, and psychology might have a lot of terms. So what has happened? Deepfake, false information is gaining ground. Because you and me don't have the patience without a cell phone away from you and me and understanding what it is. So it will only become more, it is not going to become less. So that we have to understand, because we are becoming an impatient generation. Let us acknowledge the fact. Tomorrow somebody cannot come and say, don't worry guys, so take time to read it and be patient so that this false information will go on its own. 50 years later, somebody sitting in IIT Chennai campus, false information and fake news will be the number one. Wars will be there. Fourth World War or Third World War might have happened, and country's economy might collapse because of that. So that's a big challenge for us right now. How to reverse it? One option countries always resort to is regulation. Okay, let us regulate. Let us regulate, or let us tighten the laws. Oh, you put a deep fake image of, if they put a deep fake image of you and me, nobody cares. Rashmika Mandana, everybody cares. And suddenly they say, how dare you put a deep fake about Rashmi Mandana? How dare you put it? And suddenly everybody becomes crazy and they say, we would immediately bring a law. Or maybe Amitabh Bachchan recently, they'll become so excited, they say, oh, it is happening. Now we have to understand, this is happening for a common man. The media doesn't talk about it. For a common man, for a common girl, I know the marriages are getting stopped because of a deep fake thing. In my generation, it was a college photo morphing. Somebody will go on a tour, and girl and boy will be standing in a line. So all these panchayats we have done. And they put one chain, they say, how dare, 10 years back you were standing with that boy near that waterfall, so marriage broken. So that is also a deep fake. And now it has gone more AI level where it is exactly like something. So only option we can solve, my personal opinion, more than regulation, more than tightening the laws, is our generation has to become very aware of what is happening around us. That is the only solution system. And we have to slow our mind little bit less. The speed in which you are processing, your brain is processing, it is only operating with a pattern. It is not thinking, it is operating with a pattern. And especially IIT Chennai, the day you realize it, I think we will live a good life. Your mind is going through a pattern. It is picking up some information, it is going back, the neurons is getting fired 10 years back, 12 years back. It finds a pattern, it tells you, this guy is bad, this guy is good, this guy looks like this, he is harmful. So slow it down. Yoga is one, meditation is one, breathing is one, and being aware of who you are any time around you is one. So that is the only solution. It might look slightly unorthodox. What is this guy sitting here and talking? He should have talked about regulation. Today there is a big fight happening in Gemini. There is a fight that is happening. Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji has given a big statement. It is violating section 3 of, there is a big expert sitting here in the front row. They all contribute to the government's policy making. I know for a fact many professors here are some of the best in computer science. They sit in some of the top boards of our country. But do you think that is a solution? I don't know. And China tried doing things in the American elections. Computers hacked Democratic Party. We all have seen the story. And cyber espionage is a big thing now. But for a person to read something against other person, probably slow it down, the thinking, take a moment of breath, realize it's a false news, then you don't put that share and like and retweet. Moment it comes down, am I a jobless fellow to put a fake image of Rashmika Mandana if I don't get like? Since everybody forwards, everybody likes, everybody retweets, oh, let me put one more deep fake image of some other actor. That is how jobless fellow do. Now when the retweets, likes and everything comes down, because the society is becoming very conscious, then who is jobless to put a deep fake image? So this is my answer. Not sure whether it is orthodox or unorthodox, but this has come to my mind right now.
Thank you, sir. So adding to Asha's question and what you have mentioned, how do you perceive the role of AI in shaping the mindset of masses, especially in social and political context? Do you see AI as a boon or a bane? And how do you see the role of AI in governance and position of government as a stakeholder in generative AI?
Before coming into the campus, I was sitting outside in a coffee shop. I was having coffee. There was a startup guy sitting there, busy with his laptop. He looked at me, I looked at him. Both had time. I said, who are you? He said, sir, I'm some startup guy. He asked me, who are you? I said, I'm doing politics here. Within 30 minutes, let us discuss. I said, which field you are? And he said, I'm in the people hiring field. I said, it's going okay. He said, no, sir, AI has disrupted everything, sir. Now all resumes are fake, sir. People write all beautiful things, and we are taking so much time to realize what is right and what is wrong. All statement of purpose, very fancy ones they write. It looks so believable, very emotional. And it just happened to me. It just happened to me 30 minutes before, outside your campus, in the road across in the coffee shop. So 100% it is going to disrupt. Massive disruption is on. And let me go one step further. For a country like us, which is just getting into that orbit of high growth, because your second part of the question is about how the country AI disruption. And we are just warming up to get into that orbit of $10,000 per capita income. We are about $5,000 now. And we have an ambition to reach there. Now I'm going to read out the statistics for you. Since you are max guys, I prepared something in my computer and came. And what is India's GDP now? So we are about 3.8 trillion, give or take a little bit million here and there, 3.8 trillion. So China's GDP is about 17.9 trillion today. I hope it is a true figure from China, because nobody knows what is the true figure. $17.9 trillion. And the Americans are somewhere around $37.8 trillion today. Americans are at 37.8. I'm getting the acknowledgement from the professor, which means my numbers are right. 3.8, 17 and 37 is the number we are looking. I was just calculating, when I go to IIT campus, these guys are going to make my country, our country, the developed country by 2047, correct? That is our goal. So I was thinking, how will you guys do it? So I did a simple mathematics calculation. If India is growing 13.5% from today, remember, no country has grown 13.5% for more than 2 years. If India is growing 13.5% today, for the next 25 years, compounded annual growth rate, CAGR, F30.5, next year 13.5, 13.5. America is growing at 4% from today, 4%, 25 years. In 2047, we and US are equal. So you have to grow 13.5% every year. Americans have to grow at 4.5% every year. So that 2047, both sit at the same table and say, hello boss, both our economies are same. If we are growing at 13.5% today, for the next 2042 is what? 2024, 18 years? Yeah, 18 years. Next 18 years, you are growing at 13.5%, 18 years, top. China is growing 4% next 18 years, top. Then you will say, hello boss, we are equal. Now, look at the challenge. Can you grow at 13.5%? Because 2047, we have kept a target of $38 trillion now. From 3.8, we have to reach 38 trillion. Traditional ways of business is 100% not going to give you 13.5. Max 7 right now. Do well with a good prime minister, good policy, 8.5. Country aligns in the political sphere. All state governments wants to be in the business mode, and less politics and more governance. All states in India, maybe 9.5. Then more IITs churning out intelligent guys like you. You are not going to US, I'm assuming. You all stay in our country, and you all stay in our country for the next 25 years. Do everything. 10.5. Correct? And China problem solved, Pakistan problem solved, everything solved. And there is no nuisance, political nuisance like me. Everybody is sober and everybody is good. 11.5. Correct? We are talking of 13.5. 2047 equal. So now you are talking of artificial intelligence disruption, 3D technology, traditional manufacturing practices going for a toss. Americans are telling no more buying from China. Next president, you have to manufacture in US. And you're like, hello boss, you manufacture in US, it will be costly. To hell with it, manufacture in US. If US starts back manufacturing in a big way, with the Elon Musk and people of the world, if the Europe starts manufacturing within them, and they don't want to get into this cost arbitrage, which China mastered for a long time, so you have to understand that is the world you are entering tomorrow morning. You are entering into the world, the Americans are very clear. You know for a fact, the next presidential elections in US, first time in America's history after 1776, the whites are going to be a minority. They're going to come down below 50%. So the brown skin and people like me, slightly more browner or black, whatever people call, and they are going to go above 50. Hispanics and Asians and everybody. The traditional whites, the Bible Belts, the Mormons, people inside, the so-called traditional whites, they're going below 50. It is carrying them. And next president election is going to be defined by this thing. Of course, two 83-year-old guys are fighting. So you never know, one guy is walking unsteadily, other guy is like, I still have energy left. It is going to be the oldest presidential election. But it is not going to be defined by who is more fitter among the two. You're 83-year-old, 80, you come do arm wrestling. It is not that. The American electorate are going to say, look, I am scared. My country, first time I am going below 50%. My manufacturing is not there. I am not getting jobs. My per capita income is coming down. If you look at the groups, the Hispanics and the Asians, their per capita income is growing up because they are more hardworking. Maybe I am not hardworking, but I don't want to work hard. Their artificial intelligence is entering. You start to imagine, it is reshaping the global politics. It is reshaping the way people are voting. Countries are going far right in Europe, far right. You have seen the current Danish Prime Minister speaking in the parliament. Have you seen the speech? His speech about Muslims, his speech about immigration. Did you see? My God, different level. He's speaking that kind of language in a parliament because they are forced to go extreme right. And Palestine and Gaza, what? The day one, the terror attack inside Israel. How much killing? 800, 850? Close to 1,000 people. Innocent people died. People who just want to have a good fun in the evening, a party, they got killed, butchered, massacred. What is the retaliation from Israel? Today's count, 29,700. Netanyahu's peace plan is, he's saying, give me the whole Gaza. I want to see what is happening. Let us have control over. Just imagine, it is completely disrupting. People are fearful. People are afraid. People think the supply chain is going one side, probably to our hemisphere. And the south is fearing, the north is regaining control. The north is fearing, south is more noisy. The global south, the north. So you're getting into this geopolitical tension, which was never there maybe 100 years before. Even World War II was not worse than this. Because now there is no powerful guy. There is zero powerful guy. Who will put a regulation? Why should I listen to Americans' regulation on AI? Tomorrow if Joe Biden is saying, oh, this is America's regulation on AI, you all have to follow. I'm not going to follow. I'm saying, who are you? No, they say 1950 I was a great superpower. I will say to hell with it. You are no more a superpower. You are declining superpower. You are no Pax Britannica. You are not no Pax Americana. For 100 years, one global superpower managing the whole world. Look at America. They want to manage the whole world. You put one aircraft carrier in South China Sea. You put one closer to the Koreans. You put one in the Middle East. You put a CENTCOM command here. You have a Pacific fleet. You have a blue water navy. Everywhere Americans felt, oh, this is my century. I'm controlling the whole world. Middle East fellow have to listen to me. The Koreans have to listen to me. The Japanese have to listen to me. Now, why will I listen to US? If you look at Jaishankarji's statement, the America is listening to Jaishankarji now. He's going to US and talking a language which we never thought in our lives. We will hear an Indian external affairs minister talking in US like that. So the point I'm trying to tell you is, who is going to regulate AI? And it is completely cross-border. And Europeans don't have a common agreement on how to regulate. Some countries over-regulation, some countries lesser regulation. Americans have a problem. And you can't call the chiefs of big companies to the Congress every time, and the congressmen cannot sit and gruel them. It looks good on TV for their constituents, so you can get some votes. That's the American model of democracy. Look good on C-SPAN. Now what I'm trying to tell you is, I don't have an answer. That is why I'm giving a long answer to you. And what I'm trying to tell you is, there is no answer to it. It is going to disrupt. And that is why we need smart guys like you in politics. Because, how many current politicians understand AI? 543 members in the parliament. Yes, they are very good in the traditional politics. Extremely good. This caste you divide, this caste you put, and you put a candidate from this caste, and you put a independent candidate from this caste, sorry, I will look this side, sorry, I'm just going that side. And you put an independent candidate from this caste, he will be the vote cutter and they will win. Now, unfortunately, fortunately for us and unfortunately for a lot of people, Modi ji is rewriting the political equation. He's saying, oh, development. And he's talking Vikshit Bharat, he's saying 5 years this and all those things. So now the politics have to change. See, people sitting there in Delhi, not understanding technology, AI, deepfake, regulation. Over-regulation is a problem. You never know how to turn on that stove because dosa has to be pakka. It has to be correct thing. You have to just flip it and put it. Now regulation has to do that, right? You put over a thing, dosa will become black. Lesser it's uncooked, stomach pain. So I would only say, better guys should get into positions of power, guys of integrity like you, guys of intelligence like you, and understand 10 years from now how will it happen, 20 years from now what will shape up, how is the global demography changing, how is the geopolitical tension now. So Google is number one now, 10 years from now who will be number one? And you all know the chip, the AI, what is the AI background, what is the background for AI? Powerful chips drive AI, right? People say AI is not some bhuta or some something sitting somewhere in Norway and say, oh, I am AI here, hello, hi, hi. It is not that. It is some powerful chips manufactured in Hong Kong by TSMC, which manufactures 56% of the world's chip. And 60%? Taiwan. Or a company situated in Netherlands which manufactures the mission for that chip. $100 million is one mission. And we are looking at nanometer now, sir. NM, we have got to 3 nm now, the chip design. 3 nm is the latest TSMC. I am really fearful. I am not hearing this conversation inside politics. I want to hear this conversation inside politics. I sit in many rooms. I sit in a lot of rooms. I want to hear this conversation. Oh, now it is locked. The company in Netherlands, the sole company in the world which supplies that mission to TSMC, to NVIDIA, it supplies to Samsung. And they have a monopoly for the next many, many years to buy only that mission which can write 3 nanometer chip now. And you are seeing there is a guy who is having that monopoly outside and who is going to have that AI monopoly in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And I fear that we are going to get loose out. And that is why our government talks semiconductor, manufacturing, bring it, chips. And I don't see the language of an MLA or MP who doesn't even understand what is happening. Something happening in Taiwan is going to have a repercussion in IIT Chennai. So sorry for the long answer, but the short and sweet answer is, we need intelligence guys like you with integrity to come into the playing field and don't be a spectator outside. And to see, oh, these guys will regulate, 543 guys in parliament will tell me how to run my startup, let me run my startup like that. No, you have to be there to tell people of your generation, to tell them, hello boss, I am with you. I understand your problem. I am in the political field. Let us try and work out a solution. And we are not here to harm you as a government. And 13.5% growth for 25 years, sir. Is it possible? Unless you disrupt the whole mindset of our country. You got to have highways, you got to have, we have 41 Vande Bharat trains. We have to make it 500. The first bullet trail, 2026, it is going to fly. But we need 15 bullet trails. We have 149 airports, we need 300. We got to find inland waterways, movement of goods. You don't disrupt this. I don't think 13.5% is possible. And no, then you might tell me, no, sir, let us do after 2047. Why are you in a hurry? Let us grow only at 9%. Why do you want to come to IIT Chennai and raise our heart pressure to say 13.5%? Sir, what is this? You yourself said 7%. When a person like Modi ji comes, 8.5%. When all governments behave like Modi ji, it is 10%. When IIT guys don't go to America, they stay here 11%. You yourself said all those things. Now you are saying 13.5. Brother and sister, we will become old in 2047. Nigerians will come. You know what Nigeria is doing now to the world? They are just warming up. They are no more that third world country sitting in Africa. Their democracy is getting stabilizing. And once schools come, colleges come, Nigeria gets a seat in the United Nations table when the UN gets reformed. How can you say the most populous country of Africa, I don't give you a seat in the table, wait outside? How will you say a country of 142 crore people, reforms will come? India will be a permanent member. It's a matter of time. It's geopolitics. It's geopolitics. And reforms have to happen. And you cannot have a country of 142 crore to say, "Alright, boss, you wait outside, your time will come after 25 years. So what I'm trying to say is, we are in for a serious disruption. Politics, economics, geopolitics, the way the supply chain is structured, the way Indian economy is being currently run. So I hope and pray that you guys get into politics. Now you are like, what is that? We called you to give lecture on only economics, only policing, only this thing, and now you are calling us. So unless the politicians become smarter than the people to whom the governance is applied, then there's no way you will progress faster. So I hope and pray that we all together will solve the AI challenge. Now she is wondering, no answer you gave me. You took 15 minutes, you traveled around the globe, you went to CHIP, and now you say you don't have an answer.
Thank you for that very long answer, sir.
He's already becoming a politician, you see.
So I have like two questions for you related, picking up from where you have answered. So you were talking about states getting into business modes and everything in between. So we all have heard of the Kerala model, the Gujarat model, and now the Dravidian model and so on. So do you have any model in mind? Since you are also the
Okay, so the only model we have in mind is the growth model, and no name for it. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Let us look at the whole country's map. Anybody from Uttar Pradesh here? Can somebody raise your hand? Okay. Somebody asked Napoleon Bonaparte long time back. So what is your view on China? Napoleon Bonaparte. He said, oh, don't talk about China. They're crazy people. Let them sleep. It's a giant that is sleeping. The moment you wake up China by prodding it, the whole world is going to get a sneeze. Napoleon Bonaparte's word. Uttar Pradesh was happily sleeping. 23.5 crore people, such a big state, amazing culture, hardworking people. Now somebody came and shook them up. Hello boss, I'll get your law and order right. Correct? Hello boss, anybody can walk in the night at 2 o'clock, come back safely. No more dacoits and goons who will capture your land and play. No more caste politics. Suddenly you see what is happening in UP. Second largest economic state in our country now. Tamil Nadu, UP, literally, we both can claim we are second, you are second, but UP has caught up. Airports, expressways, breakneck speed. Ayodhya temple, I just read the SBI report last week. They said Ayodhya connected to other temples is going to bring 4 lakh crore income to UP next year. 5 crore people will visit Ayodhya. I was like, "Arey yaar, what is this? What is this?" Because if I go to Google and type Hajj pilgrimage, how many people went to Saudi last year? It says 2 crore. Give or take 2.3 crore. How many people went to Vatican City? 80 million. 80 lakh, 8 million. What is the revenue Saudi earned by Hajj pilgrimage? $2.5 billion. Vatican City, 80 lakh people, somewhere around $300 million. Tirupati, he doesn't keep quiet. 1,200 crore, another 2.5 crore people. Now this is the footfall the world has seen in a pilgrimage place. Our Christian friends, Islamic friends and Hindu friends, this is the footfall. Suddenly you are saying 5 crore next year to Ayodhya. And they want to have a Ayodhya city plan 2031. They want to invest 81,000 crore to rebuild Ayodhya. Now again in the report I was reading, okay, how much tax the UP government will get from Ayodhya and other things, because temple corridors are getting connected now. It said the UP government alone is going to get a tax next year, 25,000 crore. 4 lakh crore to the state. Auto rickshaw brother, hotel brother, Pani Puri brother, somebody who is selling food, 4 lakh into that. Tamil Nadu's budget is 3 lakh crore. Now, we have to understand, silently every state has got that hunger. And they are like, you call me Bimaru state till now, how dare you call me Bimaru? We used a word called Bimaru. And for a long time we used to say Hindu rate of growth. Suddenly UP is saying, how dare you call me a Bimaru state? I am 23.5 crore. You keep me as a country. I am probably the world's 5th largest, 6th largest in terms of population. I am building infra at a breakneck speed. My law and order, I have sorted it out. And my gross enrollment ratio is just shooting. Tamil Nadu is number 1 with about 50% GER. Just imagine my brothers from UP, state from UP, in 7 years, if their GER goes to 42% from the current 28-29%, their student output in the higher education is equal to Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, Karnataka, Puducherry. Disruption is just coming, it is just warming up. One good chief minister coming, sitting, let us sort it out. Sabko theek karo. Keep the law and order and control. Go after them. When businesses come, when they put their money into a state, give them value. Where it got reflected? I am a proud Tamilian, of course, but more than that, I am a proud Indian. Like many of you sitting here, that is why we are sitting in IIT campus and having this chat. My state, some of your states, since you are living here now for next 2-3 years, in the recent Global Investors Conference, we attracted 6.6 lakh crore. You know, I generally am very aggressive as a person. I keep talking. I thought today I am not going to talk. My state got 6.6 lakh crore. I am very happy. Let the money go to Dharmaburi, Krishnagiri, Vellore. I need development there. Then this press people went and asked some DMK minister. They said, no, this is a resounding verdict for the Dravid development model. 6.6 lakh crore came because only of our efficient CM. See, that is the beauty of Dravidian development model. I said, okay, I'm not going to talk here. I'm going to give it a miss. Second day, three ministers came to the press. They said, this is a proof that Dravidian development model is far superior than any other model. Then I am like, no, today I'm going to talk to the press. I called the press friends. I said, come. Friends, I'm very happy. My state has got 6.6 lakh crore. I'm very happy. I asked the press friends, how much did UP get last year in the Global Investors Conference, 2023, February, March? Press said, sir, UP should be less than 6.6 lakh crore. I said, TK, yeah, but can I give you the number? They said, give me the number. I said, UP got 33 lakh crore. They said, sir, what is the 33 lakh crore? I said, Arey Baba, go and check it. I said, which is the worst developed part of UP? They said, Bundelkhand. Correct, brother? Which is developing fast. Bundelkhand alone got 10 lakh crore. After our Global Investors Conference, within 3 days, Gujarat had a Global Investors Conference. January 10, 11 and 12, we had January 5, 6, 7. We got 6.6 lakh crore. You know how much Gujarat got? 26 lakh crore. High-end manufacturing, semiconductor, critical infra, getting. So what I'm trying to say is, as students and young friends, you should never be biased in life. You should never be biased. All people have the same goodwill, the same hard work, the same Icha Shakti. There's nobody in our country who is superior or inferior. It is that opportunity goes sometimes late to some part of the country. So now, serious disruption coming. You say Vati coming? There is that movie. Now serious disruption coming. Now I urge my friends from Tamil Nadu and the government to say, hello guys. Why are you talking of 1970 model, 1980, 1990 Dravidian model? Why can't we look at some future model? Can we get manufacturing? Can we get this? Can we get high-end? So what I'm trying to answer is, no model is going to sustain the fancy names. It is a pro-business government. Still we have to do more. We have to get our labor reforms right. FDIs, we have to get it right. We have to get our regulations right. And a state like UP, 23.5 crore people. I said gross enrollment hitting 42 in a matter of 7 years. The number of students who come out is going to be equal to 4 southern states. I was also giving a statistics. The number of medical colleges, what UP had till 2017, I think literally they have tripled in the last 5 years. Tripled medical colleges. Everything tripled 4 times, 5 times. So, you are getting into a very beautiful world, which is reshaping the whole Indian politics. And every state is aspiring. Now you have to imagine, 5 states of our country contribute 50% of India's economy. Maharashtra, anybody from here? Maharashtra friends, number 1. You are Maharashtra, number 1. Now UP, Tamil Nadu, both of us are fighting. You are 2, I am 2, I just overtake you after 50 years, whichever it is. 2 and 3, UP, Tamil Nadu, UP. Bengal, Karnataka, 4, 5. This is the traditional system now. So they contribute 50% of India's GDP. The rest of the states, they contribute 50%. Now, India has to grow everywhere. And that is why Prime Minister says, one district, one product. And all of you aspire to be a $1 trillion. Haryana might say, no, I have lesser population. How can I compete with Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra? Then you show them Hong Kong and New York City and Shanghai and everything. Less city, do something different and grow. Population doesn't matter. So, I am not believing in models, neither you should believe in models. Let us believe in good governance. Good governance which enables people to do better so that they realize their God-given potential to the fullest.
So, continuing on what you have said, sir, Tamil Nadu as a state has...
Put people to sleep already? No.
I guess not. So, Tamil Nadu as a state has contributed in a large scale to nation building, but yet the state is at times seen as an outlier to national politics. What, according to you, is the strength of Tamil Nadu? Why do you think this perception exists in the first place, and how do you think the center and state should work effectively to foster development?
It's a very important question and a very deep question. And if you look at the history of freedom fighting, pre-1947, let us go 200 years back here. Let us not only focus on 1920, 1930 and 1885 when one of the political party got founded. If you go 200 years back, 250 years back, the fight in the Vellore fort, if you go there, the Pulitevan, the Veerapandiya Kattabomman, Veeranachiyar, if you go very deep, very behind, fighting against East India Company, resisting, not giving taxation, maybe the later end of Mughals, then probably when the British Crown came inside fighting with them, I don't think any other state can compete with Tamil Nadu in those times when the resistance was the fiercest here. Very fierce. Very fierce. Yesterday I was in Shankaran Kovil. Shankaran Kovil alone Shankaran Kovil, Pulitevan. I'm talking of many centuries, 100 years before, multiple 100 years before. Shankaran Kovil alone had Venni Kaladi. Shankaran Kovil alone had Vanchinathan, probably the next assembly constituency, but in Tenkasi district. I was surprised that one constituency having 4 or 5 people who resisted British imperialism or the East India Company fought with them. So since this yatra is giving me that very good insight, traveling to a rural area, trying to find the icons of that space. But unfortunately, if you look at 2024 now, and there is this growing perception that Tamil Nadu is a state, probably along with now Kerala, now Karnataka is also, the disease is spreading a bit. Now to say, oh, north, south, I am contributing this tax, how much did you give back? So I think out of dignity you didn't ask me that question, but I want to venture into that also. And I gave 100 rupees, how are you giving me back? Please tell me. Can I take a little bit time to answer this question? Okay. Because you should not get bored. Saturday evening, movie is waiting for you. And... No, okay. So for me, sir, I studied IIT before I came. Studied IIT model because I couldn't get into IIT. I asked people, what is it? What time is movie and everything. And sir, now we are getting into a very dangerous argument, probably in the run-up to the 2024 Parliament elections of South, North, and taxation, contribution, how much did you give me back? And where is this argument going to go after 2024? Now, this election, I'm not talking politics for sure because it's a student group, but this 2024 election is a battle of certain political parties who fear they're going to get eradicated after 2024 because their model of politics is not going to work anymore. And other political parties who believe, oh, we are in the upswing, let us consolidate. That is the fight that is happening now, 2024 and up. Now the argument has come back, the main argument. You see chief ministers going to Delhi and protesting. Chief Minister of Kerala, Chief Minister of Karnataka, the constitutional head of a state going to the national capital, sitting in Jantar Mantar, protesting to say, give me my tax, give me my right, where is my money? Okay, now, as a country, independence 1947. Tamil Nadu, lot of industries. Southern part, lot of industries. Why lot of industries came to Tamil Nadu at that point of time? Because Nehruji felt, if the industries are up north, probably within the missile range of Pakistan and China, it will hit. So some of the industries, the critical industries of DRDO were consciously shifted south, Hyderabad and Bengaluru and Chennai, because we didn't want to get into the missile reach capability of the neighboring countries. We wanted to save those critical infra, because you had two enemies on two sides of the border. That many industries were pushed in south, encouraged, started. Then probably my Tamil friends, my Tamil ancestors asked them, sir, but the coal is in Bihar, the coal is in Jharkhand, but my industry, thermal power plant is here. If I take a coal from Bihar, put it in a train, bring it to Tamil Nadu, it is so costly for me. But if an industry near Madhya Pradesh, right next to it, but he will get coal because coal decides the price of the energy. But he will be cheaper. How will I survive in the competitive environment? The Nehruji said, don't worry, we will have something called a freight equalization policy. Because I have to get into that for you to give you a context of how stupid the current argument is. Nehruji said, don't worry, we will get into a freight equalization policy. Tamil Nadu, you pick up coal. Madhya Pradesh, they pick up coal. We will make sure both of you, the freight charge is same. Now, Bihar politics, they say, because of this freight equalization policy of giving away our precious resources, we have lost 1 lakh crore. Now tomorrow if my Bihar friends come here and say, what are you talking about north and south taxation? Give me my 1 lakh crore back in the freight equalization policy. I gave coal cheaper to you for you to grow. Do you have an argument? Do you have an argument in 2047, 2024 to say, oh, I got coal cheaper because you gave it to me? Because in the freight equalization policy, the coal landing cost has to be same for a Madhya Pradesh industry, it has to be same for a Tamil Nadu industry, because the competitive advantage is not based on the freight price, but based on the other factors of production. From there we are sitting now talking about north and south. And you know, in Tamil Nadu, the official employment index, we say 25 lakh migrants, meaning brothers and sisters not belonging to Tamil Nadu or working inside Tamil Nadu now. Especially Tirupur, industrial towns, everywhere they are working. But this, you know, this number is definitely less, it is definitely more than that, could be 35 lakh or 50 lakh, because many people are not accounted, they just come seasonally and go back. Tomorrow if suddenly Nitish Kumar ji wakes up and says, oh, I've given lot of labor to your state, can you give 5,000 rupees for each guy as a labor cost arbitrage back to my state, I want to grow? What is the argument you will have? So this argument is so nonsensical that a country has to grow together. That's the only way, that's the only answer. You all have to grow together. There is a competitive advantage in the south, competitive advantage in the north. But I have a problem when people get branded and labeled as inefficient, as this, as that, as this. There I have a severe problem. I am very, very vociferous on that. Because at certain point of time in a country's growth history, some states have subsidized the other state, it's a fact. And certain time of growth in the country's history, some states have to pull up other state, it's a fact. Now, how do we divide the money? Madam Indira Gandhi had this problem. I put tax, you put tax. Direct tax, no problem. You pay, and recently the finance minister was giving a data, Tamil Nadu contributed this much, it got back this much. So direct taxation, Tamil Nadu got more than what it paid. I really don't want to get into this argument, but still I'm just putting out a data reference point for you. Now when the indirect tax goes to a common pool, GST is an indirect taxation, all it goes to a common pool, Government of India has to give it back to each state. What is the current formula? 42%. 42% is the current formula. The 15th Finance Commission, for anybody who follows politics and economics, the 15th Finance Commission, which is till 2026, it said 42% of the money in the common pool will go back to state. 58% the center has to manage roads, ports, pay the army, buy fighter planes, everything you do. Now Tamil Nadu, Bihar, UP, Kerala, they said, okay, how will you divide that 42% for me? Is it equally you will divide? Indira Gandhi had this problem in 1969. She got this Gadgil formula. She said, okay, let us put a formula. And this formula will decide in the Finance Commission the divisible pool for each state. 42% will come totally to the state. Some state might get higher, some state might get lower. But how will each state get? What is that formula? In the Gadgil formula, in 1969, the population was given 60%. 40% for the other things. So population of a state more, they will get more. 60% population, 40% other factors. 1991, the population factor was still about 50%. Population will decide half of the money you get, rest of the factors half. 15th Finance Commission, the formula, the population is 15%. So we started with population as an index of 60%, and now population is 50%, 15. What about the other 85? We have something called a income distance. Average income, income of that state, what is the gap? 45%. 15% good governance, proper taxation, 15% geography of that state, green cover you build. So this is a formula we all have agreed together. Finance Commission, now we have put the 16th Finance Commission. Aravind Panagriyaji has taken over as the chairman of the 16th Finance Commission. He is expected to give a report in the next 1 year. Some of the intelligent brains, professors and students will be contributing to that report. Now it's a formula based index. 60% population index given weightage, now it is 15% formula percentage given to population now. As a country, we have to agree to a common standard. That 42% central which has to give to the state, it comes in this formula. Now some states complain, no, I am getting less than the other state. Why should other state grow at my expense? I will do protest in Jantar Mantar. Do you think it's a right approach? Then what if the North Indian states say, no, you are growing with my labor. I will not accept it. For every labor that is coming to your state, 5,000 rupee, please remit to my account as cost arbitrage. I want to give it back to the labor's family. Will southern states accept? So, brothers and sisters, very complex argument. Again, no answer, as usual. But my job sitting here is to give insights. I've come here to give insights. A politician who can never have an answer. By now you must have understood in Indian politics. You just give insights and lead the people towards a discussion and a solution. Because I sit here and I can't give a solution because I am not a person to give solution because I am not equipped to give a solution. So we are all discussing, debating. This happened in 69, Gadgil formula, revised Gadgil formula came. Now it is the Niti Aayog formula in 2016 Finance Commission it came. Now we are looking at something different. So I want you to have this thing in mind. Okay, it's so complex, yeah. Let us get into politics to solve it. So I'm trying to motivate all of you to solve all of this complex problem, mathematics, economics and everything by getting into politics.
So in one of your answers, you told you wish people with integrity, they enter politics. You told us, all of us here, enter politics. How do you think we can create a conducive environment where youngsters can enter politics?
Very, very deep question. How do you create a conducive environment where youngsters can enter politics? Very tough question also. Politics is very biased even now to a first timer. Because politics is costly. So costly. Winning election, very costly. Very costly. And let us imagine an IIT professor is motivated here. I've studied IIT. I've taught in IIT. One of the brilliant minds. Let me get into politics. Many IIT professors and IIM professors are in politics. They are my colleagues also. I keep meeting them in different panel discussions like that. And when they come in, you are used to a certain lifestyle. And probably you after 10 years in a corporate life or NGO or think tank, when you come, maybe immediately after passing out from here, if you are very smart, let me start my politics young. I'll go a long way if you think like that. You will understand day one when you enter politics, you will be amazed by the sheer complexity of work you do. For example, today I will tell you my day. Yesterday night I slept by 2:30. I finished something in Tenkasi, which is that end of Tamil Nadu. Public meeting, finished everything. I came to Virudhunagar, stayed somewhere. By the time I finished my meetings, 2:30. Today morning, 7:30, I woke up, I got up, I mean, in the sense I left that room. I went to a bull taming festival because I have to be there at 8:30. Then the guy told me, "Sir, do you want to leave a bull inside?" I said, "Arey yaar, what is this?" In the TV I saw only the outside part where the bull comes and people will go, they'll try to tame, and I clap my hand, I come. I never bothered about what will happen behind it. They said, "Come sir, we'll go and see what is behind." I went there, and there is a methodology for a bull preparation. I'll tell you how complex preparing a bull is. Let us talk about politics later. A bull is getting prepared, bull is getting prepped up. Because you have to keep that bull charged, because it is go inside and go like this and run. And they told me, "Sir, to prep the bull, you have to cut out the thread that is inside that nose." In Tamil we call Mukanangairu. I don't know what is the word in English. Where the thread goes inside his nose, no? You control this, right? With this. And he gave me a knife. Don't worry, it is not that small knife. It is a big knife where there was a bamboo pole to it. So the bull is standing down, what you call the Vadi Vasal. And you have to allow the bull to enter that lane. And he told me, "Sir, in 1 microsecond you have to cut it." I said, "Arey yaar, how is it possible?" They said, "If you delay even by 1 microsecond extra, the bull will just charge. If you don't cut it, you are holding it back. And the tamer will catch the bull. Because the tamer will get that split second advantage, because the bull just stops before entering." I will try here. He gave me this. I was just praying to God I should not make a mess of myself, because people are taking photograph of what I'm trying to do. And the bull was inside, the Vadi Vasal was ready. And I just kept it in his nose, cut it. And 1 split second the bull is out, he ran. I'm telling you, this was my life in the morning. Terrified of cutting a thread in the bull's nose. Then I have to do a Padayatra in Madurai, finish it, public speech, meeting, then run and catch a flight, came here. The sheer complexity of politics will overwhelm you. You are sitting in IIT Chennai today, breast minds in the morning, in the evening. In the morning, try to cut that bull's nose, that thread. So this is the spectrum you have to operate. So I would say, forget about other things like money and first let us imagine, will this life suit you? Complexity, abuses, are positive, fighting, social media, people write bad things about you, good things about you. So that is why politics is an entirely different field. Whatever you have done in life will never prepare you for a life in politics. For one, like there is a Tamil Vadivelu movie. The first 1 year in politics, you are like, "Who punched me? Who punched me? Who punched me?" You are like, everybody will be punching you. You are like fish out of water. The two guys like you and me are trained to use the right side of the brain more. Logic, reasoning. I hope it is right side, not the left side, sir. Left side. Logic and reasoning, and A plus B is equal to this. Why it is not C? Then it will take 10 years for us to understand, "Arey yaar, politics is chemistry, not arithmetic." And I would only say, God willing, let the life that you choose over the next many years should prepare your mind to come and survive in this complex Indian politics, where you should be like a Buddha. "Oh, you spoke bad about me? Okay. You have to do handshake with them tomorrow morning, because we're in an alliance." And then they will be asking, press will be asking, "Arey yaar, last week only both of you abused each other." You're like, no, statements got misinterpreted. Do you think IIT guys are prepared for that? No, I'm just joking, but I told you when I started, short-term gains, long-term gains, what you do, how you do. So this is more critical and important than bothering about some external things like money and how will I survive, how will my family survive. That is the least of your concern. The first is surviving in water. Because you and me are trained to think in a particular way. Politics is not that way. But integrity. Integrity, they always say, when I read Steve Woss's autobiography, it's a beautiful book, Out of My Comfort Zone, his autobiography. There is this forward was written by Rahul Dravid, very beautiful forward. So if you read it, you pick up a sense where they say how a form is. For a cricketer, the form. Every cricketer, even out of form, he thinks, oh, today's match, I'm going to go score a century. Tomorrow morning, I'll be form. You talk to any of your cricketing friends. They say, no, sir, I'm not out of form. For you, it appears I'm out of form. So this match, I'll score a century, I'm back in form. So he thinks it is always there, always there, always there. So in the book, he writes, a form is like the sweat in your armpit. You never smell it, people around you will smell it. So integrity is like that. You think you are always integral because your mind keeps balancing. I did a short-term adjustment because I have to do, because it is Kshatriya Dharma. Other person will say, why did you compromise? I have to compromise, it is for the larger national good. Hey, why did you compromise this? Why did you take money from that fellow? I have to take it because the ends are more important than means, or means are more important than whichever way you see it. So your mind keeps justifying. You never know when you lost that integrity. Am I right, sir? And nobody can look back at their life and say, oh, this is the day, March 21, 2026, I lost my integrity in the morning at 9:17 a.m., sir, the boardroom. And nobody in their life till they get caught. Look at some of the biggest startups in the country, the valuation they had, which was a beacon of inspiration to us. The board meeting to kick the CEO out, CEO was sitting in some part of the world saying that this is not right. You see where it takes you as a country. Startups failing. I am somebody who is really bothered when startups fail. Startups fail because of integrity issues. It makes me very sad as a person, as an Indian citizen. Startups can fail, sir. It is okay, sir. We'll make second startup. We'll make him to win. We'll make the sister to win. Failing because of market condition. We are a $4 trillion economy, sir. We will not give two hoots for a startup failing because of market condition. We will make sure we support you. We'll make you a $1 billion company. India is big now. We are not some old company where startups fail. We will pump you out and bring. But when you fail because of integrity, it makes us sad. And you are collapsing the ecosystem around you. You are taking billions of investors' wealth. And an investor thinks twice before putting money in Indian startup. So integrity is something, sir, a honest assessment. You never know when you lost it. So my suggestion to you is, then how do you keep check of your integrity? Keep your school friends and college friends with you, however big you are. Don't keep your colleagues with you. That is okay with the chai and coffee, and it's okay. But your school friends and college friends who have seen you as a raw person with zero ego, they should tell you, Hare boss, there is some deviation I'm seeing. Your language is not good. And you are no more the same guy I saw you in 4th class. And this is the model I follow. When I go out, all my closest friends are my school and college. In the business room, it could be my colleagues. But this guys, very fearlessly, they will tell me, for other people, I am some state president, this guy, that guy. Oh, if I say this fellow will not get me a seat in 2024. Better I will say, Annamalai sir, you are fantastic. You are truly great human being. God has made you and created you. We are very privileged you are in BJP. But my school friend will say, I didn't like the way you talk. Why did you shout at him in the night? Then I'll be arguing, no, I didn't shout out. It was so stressed. The stress made me to start out. They'll say, what nonsense. What stress here? Do you think you have more stress than a guy who's standing in the border facing a Pakistani? Do you think you have more stress than that guy? Because my school friend talks in this language to me. Why do you allow your stress to shout at somebody in the public? Calm down. I will calm down. I say, okay, some mistake I made. So this courage, who will speak to you? So I would say, never lose your integrity because you don't know when you are losing it. Because you know when you are losing it, at least I can put a defense mechanism around it. Integrity is always lost in 0.01%, 0.02%, first compromise 0.03%, then 1%. In 10 years, complete integrity gone, I am happy. So, be a person of integrity. It's very, very tough to maintain integrity because in Indian system, being a person with integrity, you have to pay a price. It doesn't come easy. Indian system. You suddenly go to meeting at 7 o'clock, you say, why nobody has come at 7 o'clock? They'll say, no, Alay yaar, 7:10 I want to come. Then you will say, okay, nobody comes at 7, I'll also go at 7:10. That's how we became late now. The hall is not full, sir, can we go at 5 minutes late? No, we came on time. I'm not giving this as an excuse or an example. The professor was on time, I was on time, we came. So, the system around you, the ecosystem around you will make you a person of less integrity. How do you fight it out in the real world when you walk out of the IIT campus gate and say, oh, Sir Kamkodi sir has got more selfies, 952 selfie to the next IIT director who got one selfie. He is a great man, he trained me. Is it true he got more selfies? He got more selfies among the IIT directors? Is it true, sir? So there was a competition among the IIT directors that who is more student friendly, and for information, your professor topped it. If I am correct, he got 992 selfie, the next IIT director got 1. Imagine that guy's plate. I am going to fail all of you this time. I am going to repeat all of you. You gave me 1 selfie. So he got 992. See, 992. So what I am trying to do is they will prepare you for everything. Great lectures, smartest people. Yesterday the World Bank manager came. Big fundas they must have spoken, economics and growth curve and everything. Very important stuff they must have spoken. But when you walk out of the IIT gate, the moment you walk out, I am going to test your integrity. The public transport will come late. And you'll get frustrated. What is this road here? Potholes here. What are these councillors fellows doing? Eating my money. You'll get frustrated. Then you will say, why should I pay tax after 5 years? Then it will auditor, sir, how much money we pay? This bloody politicians are eating. Find a way to cut tax, sir. Put in some tax saving thing. 7th year. 10th year, suppose IIT Chennai make it big. Sir, what is this round tripping? 12th year. Where is the Cayman Island, sir? 15th year. Can I put FDI there, sir? Gone. So my request to all of you is, it's a challenge, sir. For me, it's a daily battle. Some rowdy fellow joins BJP. Immediately the media will say, rowdy fellow joins Annamalai's leadership. Ex-cop who was clean. Ex-cop who was a honest cop, Singham of Karnataka. He was there and suddenly Tamil Nadu politics. He is making all rowdies to join BJP. What has BJP happened to under Annamalai? And there was a police guy. Now, a lot of police guys keep joining the party every week, 100, 200. One day, one police guy very sadly came to me, sir, I joined the party last week, I want to leave now. I said, why do you want to leave? No integrity in the politics, sir, I want to leave. I said, can I have a cup of coffee? A retired inspector, cup of coffee. I said, why? Sir, I sit in the same table where one rowdy fellow was sitting, history sheeter, sir. Do you know I was a honest cop, sir? And how can I sit with them in politics? And I have to tell him, Hare, sir, sit. Now we have to get into why did he become a rowdy? Is he in the reformation path? Can you give him an opportunity? Can we tell him no more rowdyism after you join politics? Can we talk bigger philosophical fundas? Because you are entering into the grey area completely. And my integrity gets tested every day. Because I make critical decisions every day. Colleagues, presidents of the district, 250,000 people in different posts in Tamil Nadu BJP party at different levels, from the state to the mandal level, and every day mishandling of money, this, that, complaints. For me, every day it's a challenge. And if I go by the textbook definition, only I'll be sitting here today. You did this, you did that, no, you come on time. But if they make decision, they will also remove me. You did this, how do you? So that is a challenge for me. Likewise, it is going to be a challenge for you. So let us not trivialize integrity. But let us keep a check on our integrity through the mechanism that you build for yourself. School, college, sometimes colleagues, sometimes spirituality, sometimes dhyana, sometimes meditation, sometimes yoga. What works for you, keep it as a check to check your integrity every day in the morning and evening. Sorry, I think I'm giving long answers, sir. Very sorry.
Thank you, sir. So this brings us to the end of the questionnaire. We'll move on to audience questionnaire now.
Please raise your hand. Our volunteers will come to you with the mic.
Wonderful talking to you, that I will say. After a long time, I really got tested. I have to dig deep within me to find the inner reserve to give very honest and truthful answer. I really enjoyed. Not many days are like this for me, where I really have to bear my heart out and talk to people like this.
Good evening, sir. I'm Varshini from Chemical Engineering Department. My question is, what do you think is the most pressing issue in your constituency and the region you present?
Madam, I am not elected anywhere as of now. So I am a baby in Indian politics, 3 years into politics. And my responsibilities across the state. And I went to my home maybe a month back, met my parents many weeks back. And I don't have a constituency as we speak now. So I care for the whole of the state. I split my time to we have 66 organization districts. The state has got 38 districts revenue. We divide that further for the party operation. I have 66. I make sure I visit every 66 in one cycle before I start the next 66. So last 6 months I'm traveling across the state also. So in that context I'll give you an answer, madam. So my answer is, what is the pressing issue for the state? I'm just modifying your question to a slightly higher level to the state. Education, we got to fix it up now. Because the quality of learning outcomes is getting poorer every year. You cannot have a budget where 97% of the education budget is only for the salary and pension. So only 3% goes into building critical infra, what you call the capital expenditure. That's a big problem for us, because whatever we have spoken now, we are talking of chips and 3 nanometer, and we are talking of so many things. Are we building our citizens for the future? If you ask my honest answer today, it is no. Especially in the state, my state, here. The second issue is alcohol and alcoholism in Tamil Nadu. When 2 days back the state finance budget got presented, the Tamil Nadu government said the revenue from the alcohol was 50,000 crore, which is the state revenue. 50,000 crore from tax, state revenue. Between the ages of 18 to 60, adult male, we have 19% who are alcohol addicts. That is a serious issue, we got to fix it. The third one, the imbalance in development within the state. For example, 8 districts of Tamil Nadu contribute 52% of Tamil Nadu's growth. 30 districts of Tamil Nadu contribute 48% of Tamil Nadu's growth. We got to fix it. Make sure the development is more regional, it is more sub-regional, it is more across the district. What they say north-south. In Tamil Nadu, you have this north-south or east-west or whatever it is inside. The fourth pressing issue for me is reforming police, pet subject of mine. And unless you don't have a proper policing system, everything around the economy will start collapsing slowly and steadily. You can't have a police force that is overworking 16, 17 hours a day. And we got to find a way. They cannot have unions, they cannot voice it. You know, 16, 17, madam, just to go little bit more thing because of my background, why I put this in fourth question. Normally policing will be lost for any politician. Because a weakened police is good for a politician. That's the way a politics functions. Police should say, sir, if you call me, I will do it, sir, else you will transfer me to a place where there is no water. So better I will listen. So I flip this theory ulta. I am like, if I empower you, you will maintain that neighborhood safer. Where I will increase the percentage of women who will get into labor. India's next growth is women participation, sir, no doubt, sir. India's next level of growth is women participation. Women-centric development, 2014 to 2024, Modi ji, correct? 2024 to 2029, what do you think is? Women-led development. Women have to lead, no doubt. Very simple. And the guys who are sitting here, you will realize, women have to lead. You cannot have 52% of the population just being about 19-20% of the labor force. So, moment you fix up the policing, you get lot of things right. The immediate output is the woman labor force will go up, correct? So, when I was a cop in Chikmagalur, I had this crazy idea. One day I saw a guy who was very fat, 117 kg. I asked him, why are you fat? He said, sir, stress, sir. I eat very less, sir. I eat only 2 idli, sir. Many of you might have the problem here. I eat only 2 idli. I don't know why I am gaining weight. Doctors say it is stress, hormone imbalance. You don't sleep, you do night rounds, and you always think. So you put on weight. That's theory we all know, psychosomatic disorder. I had this crazy idea. I thought, madam, please sit, madam. Sorry, I'm making you to stand. I had this crazy idea. I thought, if you reduce 5 kg in the next 90 days, you will get a posting of your choice within the district. Because Chikmagaluru is a big district in Karnataka. So big district, length to length is 125, 130 kilometer. And this side is close to about 170, 160 kilometer. And sometimes the guy whose home is here is posted 100 kilometer away in a police station within the district. So he has got a child, he has got a wife, he has got a parents. Or females posted 60 kilometer, 80 kilometer away. So you don't have that sense of a family, sense of joy, not participating in your family's function, which calms you down as a human being, which prepares you. You become like a rotten cop because you stay in the police station nearby, you do policing work all 7 days, you go to home twice a month, 2 days a month. So what happened? You lose that sense of balance. You become arrogant, you shout at people, you don't want to do work. I thought, how will we solve it? I said, you reduce 5 kg, you come and ask me, you want a posting in your own place, I will give you as SP. The next day morning, I told my PA, sir, tomorrow morning, I'm going to announce. I'm going to put a weighing machine in my office. Since every day I'm not in office, whichever guy comes, you make him to stand in the weighing machine, you write down his weight. 90 days later, he has to come back, stand in the same weighing machine, below 5 kg, we'll give a posting of his choice. Next day morning, my PA called, sir, 400 people have come, sir, how will the district police function? We have only 1,200, everybody is here. I said, array, yaar, half day, nothing will happen, make everybody to stand in 2-3 weighing machines, by 3, quickly note and send them back. Let them go back to the, because police station, you got to man people, they cannot come to the headquarters and sit, because some law and order will happen. 60% achieved target, sir. The top guy reduced 17 kg. It is in my book. I have documented the whole thing in my book. So why I am saying this, sir? The policing in India needs motivation. He is a super guy. He is a super guy. He is our savior. But since you don't give him a motivation, the police have lost a sense of purpose why they are wearing a khaki. They don't know why they are wearing a khaki. So that is why policing reform 4th, madam.
Sir,
The 5th one.
Regarding this, I've read an article of yours where you compared the Telangana police force with the Tamil Nadu's police force, and you mentioned you would double the salary of the Tamil Nadu police force. I would like to ask you the question, what made you to notice the difference between the Tamil Nadu police force and the Telangana's police force?
This is a study done by the BPRD, the Bureau of Police Research and Development. We have a central government organization sitting in Delhi, which is supposed to do only research on police department. Anybody who's doing a research, BPRD is the research body where you get all the data. I was very astonished seeing the salary component of each police force, entry level, sub-inspector level, inspector level, deputy superintendent of police level, because SP level we are the IPS rank. So our salary is uniform across the country because the central government fixes our pay. So SP, IG, DGP, same salary. Chief Secretary, level 14, level 15, same salary. But below that, police is a state subject. The central government cannot say a constable should be paid same thing in India, a sub-inspector should be paid, because it's a state subject. But IPS comes in the concurrent list because you are the all India service. When I saw the stark difference between policing of different states. Now, I'm going back to Singapore, madam. When Lee Kuan Yew was the Prime Minister of Singapore, he said, I'm going to have a basket to decide a public servant salary. He put some people in the basket. He said, your school principal, neighborhood school principal will be in that basket, and other jobs will be in that basket. I will take the average of that salary. That salary I'll give it to a public servant, a judge or a police or something. Because his theory was, when you allow people who are at the front line, like a fire service officer or a cop or a cop who's in the beat, if you keep their salary down, if a guy who comes from out of IIT, what is the top pay, madam? 10 crore, 12 crore? Trade secret, sir? Okay. So multiple crore, correct? Multiple crore. Now, you tell me, the guy who's going out of IIT Chennai, getting that multiple crore package, is he more important than my village school principal? Honest question. And you might say, yes, sir, he is going to solve the world's problem. And naturally, companies have to pay multiple crore. Now, my argument would be, no, the village school principal is also solving the world's problem by creating 250 students every year who are ready as good citizens for the country. He is also important. So, when society prospers, when you have this artificial way of salary and wealth creation, what happens? Corruptions will prosper. And suddenly, as IT guy, you go to a police station. Any of you have gone to a police station? In Bengaluru, I used to have this problem every day. Big guy speaks only English, comes to a police station. Sir, please check my passport very fast. And the guy will say, no problem, yeah. Get me one bundle of paper, tomorrow it will be done. No, one bundle of paper, how dare you ask me a bundle of paper? When I was a student in engineering, he asked me 4 green ink pen to process my passport. So, paper keeps varying. Now this guy believes, oh, I am doing all the hard work. I am here for working for 17 hours. I don't see my family. You come in a fancy car. You say you are IT guy. I am supposed to protect you in the middle of the night where my children don't see me. I do patrolling around IIT Chennai campus. And you earn crore free. So vicarious pleasure of saying, can you at least get me 1 coin of paper? So as a society, for a politician like me, this is the challenge for me now. Break it and make sure the public service is accountable. You can make the public service accountable only if the salary is commensurate with the work they do. Right? Else, when the Twin Towers got collapsed, who died more? Is it the Morgan Stanley or the Citibank guys died more? Or the New York firefighters who died more? New York firefighters who died more. Because they said the building is collapsing. It is gallons of fuel poured on a steel. Steel is melting. But the first set of firefighters, when they came, they said, I am going in no matter what. I am going to get killed no matter what. At least can I pull 10 people out? So if you read the 9/11 Commission report by the US Congress, it's a fascinating study. How people in the front end of public service, knowing fully well they are going to die, they enter. Can you give them peanuts to survive? So that is my theory, madam. Increase salary for a start. When they die in the line of duty, take care of their children's education for the future. Make sure even when they die in a profession which is in the cutting edge of public service, a firefighter, a cop, a principal, a traffic warden, maybe small people, we might not even realize. As a society, if we don't take care of them, then we don't have any right to call us as worthy citizens of a state. This is my thinking on that, madam. Thank you.
Hi, sir. I'm Raghuram, who has been following you from the past. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
It's like, how are you planning to collaborate with other stakeholders like opposition parties for betterment of Tamil Nadu and the nation, sir?
Great question, sir, because politics essentially is collaboration. And you can't live in an island and say, I am like this and my attitude is like this, either you come with me or go to hell. So everybody will say, I am like this, my attitude like this, you go to hell. In the parliament, you keep seeing the fights. And democracy is slow because of collaboration, sir. But democracy is also great because of collaboration. Normally, when as a democratic guy, you say, oh, my country is democracy. Look at this Chinese yard. One guy comes from the state, he says, straight line, the road has to be straight. But in India, when I put a road, sir, if you put road here, 4,000 votes will go, that temple, okay, shift right. Sir, when you put road, agriculture land, sir, people will protest, okay, shift left. Sir, one whole village is gone, sir, it's 2,000 old megalithic site, okay, put center. So our Indian democracy is essentially a democracy of compromise. And we should feel happy that we are living in a democracy that has got the ability to do compromises. When I was your age, sir, a college student like you, I never believed in compromise. When I was a cop, I never believed in compromise. To hell with it, this is my highway, white and black. I'm coming to the earlier part of my answer where I said, sir, we have to operate in grey in politics. It will test your moral limit to the hilt, because all compromises are worth it. You cannot harm somebody by development. You cannot take away somebody's 7 generations of agriculture land because some industry has to come. At the same time, the industry has to come, you have to take someone's agriculture land. But how do you find a compromised solution, maybe a suboptimal solution in a democracy, to make him partly happy, to make the state happy? I'm learning, sir. I'm a very aggressive, very fun. I'm still struggling to learn how to compromise. So, when somebody went and asked Swami Vivekananda's guru, you know Vivekananda's guru? Ramakrishna. Paramahamsa, when they asked, sir, my child is eating so much sweet, please give him advice. He said, come back after 10 days. The mother is like, they call him a great Swamiji. He is not able to give advice on how to stop eating sweets. 10 days later, when the child came and the mother came, he gave advice. Mother said, Swamiji, you are such a great person. Why did it take 10 days for you? He said, Arey yaar, I was eating sweets at that point of time. First I have to leave eating sweets. So it took 10 days. Now I am giving you a solution. So, sir, when I learned the art of compromise, then probably I'll be in a better position to talk. But today I am also a struggling politician trying to learn the art of compromise, sacrificing a short-term gain, looking at long-term. I think that comes with experience. I am still in that white and black mode, struggling to enter that grey mode. And compromise not at the cost of principle, but compromise definitely not at the cost of sacrificing the hard-earned gains that we have done till now. So, if you see the alliance in Tamil Nadu, I am not sure if you follow politics now, BJP, different alliance partners in Tamil Nadu, where we are, how 2024 is going to be. We are somewhere there. And many a times you might get angry with some of our top leadership. Why did they do this? As a BJP party, why did you do this? You should have done this. You have to do compromise, sir. Why did Modi ji pull back the formula? You know, Modi ji is not a guy who will take a step back. You all know for a fact. He will look eye to eye and decide. China, what did we do? Pakistan, what did we do? The Chennai guy, our Abhinandan, got caught. He took a crazy person. He took a MiG-21 Bison. He was going after a 4th generation fight. Courage, pure courage. Going after 4th generation plane with the MiG-21 Bison. Got caught, was there. In the meanwhile, he got one 4th generation fighter down. Pakistanis got it. What did Modi ji say? That is informally, what can we know? If Abhinandan is harmed, if it doesn't enter Wagah border within 24 hours, I read in the paper, I'm not an authentic source, you can't quote me on this, though the camera is recording. If you don't, UAE and all the global powers talk to Pakistan, and we said, if you don't allow Abhinandan in 24 hours Wagah border, we will do anything to get him. Anything means anything. And we have all kinds of arsenal in hand. If it leads to a war, we are not bothered. But we want him back without a scratch. 24 hours later, he was in Wagah border. And this kind of a politician also says, Maaf kijiye, I'm taking the formula back. I'm right with the intent, but the timing is wrong. Compromise. Mistaken identity, mistaken thing, misinformation, former friends trying to, maybe not getting the intent of what we tried to do, pull a step back. So, maybe it's a long story, sir, but maybe next time when a senior politician comes, somebody of Amit Shah ji, somebody of Modi ji, I think you should ask the question to them. I think definitely they will enlighten you. Thank you so much, sir.